Hello and welcome to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In today's segment, I would like to talk about the Kobe Bryant Memorial. I know that I'm kind of late at talking about it, but I've been getting messages regarding the situation with his parents not being mentioned by anyone except for Shaquille O'Neal. I did see a video where he mentioned the parents and he gave them his condolences. But when I watched the actual memorial on television, I just didn't hear anything going out toward his parents or his siblings. And I think that was kind of disrespectful of everyone involved, because had his parents not had him, there would be no Kobe Bryant, and they lost a son and his siblings lost their brother. And I can't understand why anyone would think that it's okay to just pass over his parents and his siblings like they never exist. They were a part of his life, whether they were not speaking to each other. It shouldn't matter if he was upset or mad at his family or they were upset or mad at him. They are all still family. They are all still blood, and they should have been mentioned. And the fact that they weren't is sad. It's sad and it's disgusting and it's very disrespectful. They should have been mentioned. I mean, like I said, they lost their son. They lost their granddaughter. His siblings lost their niece. But yet no one thought enough of his family to even send them their condolences. Everything has just been about, just to be honest, just his wife and the NBA and how they lost Kobe Bryant. But his family lost him as well. And I know that had to kind of make his parents feel bad sitting out there, and his siblings, knowing that no one's bothered to acknowledge them like they never exist. It reminds me of what they did with Michael Jackson with his father. Everything was about their mother, Catherine. They didn't acknowledge Joe Jackson throughout the whole process after Michael Jackson passed away. I felt then that was even disrespectful. Come on, people, you got to do better than that. Regardless of what kind of relationship these people had between all of them, that was their beef. Their beef is not your beef. So if they were having problems with their family, that has nothing to do with us as fans. All we need to look at is the fact that they were family. They are family. They're family no matter what type of beef they have. If they don't speak for 20 years, they're still family. You can't change who your family is. I mean, they're there. Whether you speak or not, they're not going anywhere. They're still family. So what they did to Kobe Bryant's parents is the same thing they did, and his siblings is the same exact thing they did to Joe Jackson with the whole Michael Jackson situation. It's really sad. And people should know better. I mean, sometimes it just make you think that people were raised by wolves. You got to do better. People, you don't know what is going on, but you only know what they really want you to know. Don't ever think you're going to find out everything that's happening in these people's lives. They might not be able to hide all of it, but you trust and believe there's a lot of shit that you don't know as fans that they're not going to let get out. And when everyone starts taking sides and think, okay, well, he was angry with them and he wasn't talking to them. They sold his things. They did this, they did that. That has nothing to do with it. That was still that man's parents, and they should have been acknowledged at that memorial. There's no way that it should have ended and they were not acknowledged, and his siblings were not acknowledged. And a lot of people have been asking me about that and how I feel about it, and I think it's outright disrespectful and disgusting, because it should have never happened. Why would they allow that to happen? Why would anybody be comfortable with that happening? And when I actually saw the video of Shaquille O'Neal when he sent his condolences out to Kobe Bryant's parents, he was really respectful about it. He said they lost their child. Yes, they did. But everyone's making it seem like these people didn't exist. If they weren't there, you wouldn't have a Kobe. It wouldn't have been a Kobe Bryant. You wouldn't have been able to say how good of a player he was, how good of a father he was, how good of a husband he was. You wouldn't be able to say any of that because he wouldn't have existed without his parents, okay? They should have been the first people you gave your condolences to because they were his parents. And the fact that everyone looked over that, again, just shows how disrespectful some people really can be and how they are. And it's sad. This is not a conversation that anyone should be having. They shouldn't have never been looked over. They should have been acknowledged. His siblings should have been acknowledged. You were okay interviewing his co-workers, basically his teammates, coaches, even strangers that went to his children's school. You all were okay interviewing all of these people. Okay, if you wanted to interview someone, interview the family. Any of his family. Let them talk about the good times they had even before he was this big celebrity, this big basketball player. See who he was before the fame. But it's like everyone looked past that. They didn't want to hear anything about that. It's like it's their memories and that's it. But his parents had memories too. Maybe they had memories that they wanted to talk about at the memorial. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't have been asked to say some words at the memorial. There's absolutely no reason why they weren't up there. It shouldn't have been a reason why they weren't up there. But I think that it just shows that I think a lot of people in this world today are just cold-hearted. They don't care. They don't care about anything until maybe it might touch with their family because they wouldn't want their family treated that way. And the parents didn't look happy at all. They didn't. I know with the situation that was going on with them losing their son, of course, they weren't going to look happy, but they were not pleased at what was going on. You could tell that much. And then they put the camera on them to make the situation even worse. You're okay putting the camera on these people, but you weren't okay asking them to speak, How about getting insight on their son, their child, from his parents? No one can ever say anything about you that will ever be as good as the parents. Okay, anything coming out of the parents' mouth, I think. So they should have been the first ones to speak. And it shouldn't have been after the fact that someone sent out their condolences. I mean, he did it, so that's all that matters. Shaquille O'Neal did it, but it was after the fact. So I think that something needs to be done with the way that people do things these days. They need to do better with how they handle situations. Because at this moment, I believe that a lot of people out there do have questions about why the parents were not up there, why they didn't get the chance to speak. There's questions. And, people have been asking me how I feel about it. And I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. And I believe that it shouldn't have never happened. And I will always say that I didn't like it. I mean, it was a good memorial, but it was also a little bit disrespectful toward his parents. But other than that, there was no complaints. I just think they could have done better by his parents, and that they didn't do. And they should have made sure that was something that happened before that memorial ended. But it's over and done with. No one can change it. But what they could do is try sending those people an apology for what they did to them, because it wasn't right. They know it wasn't right. Okay. And I just made this quick segment because, like I said, people have been asking me about this. So I decided to make a segment to tell them how I felt. And I was not pleased with it at all. Okay. But I would like to thank all of you for joining me on Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. And until next time, take care.